The road trip. John sat in his cozy living room, his eyes staring at the wall but not really seeing it. He felt a heaviness in his heart. Despite the comfort of home, there was a noticeable void, a lack of connection that had been bothering him for some time. He looked up as Emily, his teenage daughter, walked in. She seemed to sense that he wanted to talk about something important.
Dad, you look serious. What's up?
Emily inquired, her eyes meeting his.
We haven't had any quality family time for a while now. I've been busy with work, and you're wrapped up with school. How about a road trip this weekend, just the two of us?
John suggested. A spark lit up in Emily's eyes.
That sounds like a really fun idea.
2 days later, father and daughter found themselves sitting at the kitchen table, maps and notebooks spread out before them. Emily felt a mixture of excitement and nervous anticipation. She hadn't been on a beach trip for ages and wondered what it would be like now that she was older. John shared her excitement but also felt a tinge of apprehension about making the trip perfect.
So, where should we go?
John initiated the planning.
How about the beach? We haven't been in years.
Emily suggested enthusiastically.
The beach it is.
John confirmed.
We'll need food, clothes, and maybe some games for the road. How about a ball to toss around at the beach?
Great idea, Dad. I'll make a checklist so we don't forget anything.
Finally, the day arrived. The car was packed, and they hit the road. The landscape changed as they drove, and the confines of the city gave way to open countryside. John felt a growing sense of freedom but kept glancing at the GPS, wanting to ensure they didn't get lost. Emily, on the other hand, found herself hypnotized by the passing scenery, though her thoughts occasionally wandered back to school and impending college applications.
Dad, make a left turn up ahead.
Emily directed, snapping out of her reverie.
Are you doing okay? You look a bit lost in thought.
John probed.
I am fine, just thinking about school a bit. But I'll focus on today.
Emily assured him. John sensed there was more on Emily's mind.
School, huh? How are your college applications coming along?
Emily sighed.
They're okay, I guess. I've applied to 5 schools so far but still need to write essays for another 3. It's all a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
John nodded, understanding the pressures his daughter was under.
I can imagine. It's a big step, choosing a college. Do you need any help with the essays?
Maybe some editing help? That would be great, Dad.
Emily smiled, grateful for the offer.
Of course, anything to help you succeed.
John said, his heart full of pride and love for his hardworking daughter.
What about you, Dad? How's work been? You've been coming home late these days.
Emily shifted the focus, suddenly aware that she had been too wrapped up in her own world. John hesitated, not wanting to burden Emily.
Work's been busy. We've got several big projects, and it's been a little hectic meeting deadlines.
Is that why you've been so stressed lately?
Emily asked, catching a glimpse of the burden her father carried.
A bit, yes. But it's a part of adult life, I suppose. Deadlines will always be there.
John sighed, relieved that he could be honest with Emily. Emily nodded, absorbing her dad's words.
Thanks for sharing, Dad. I guess it's good practice for me to learn how to handle stress, considering college is just around the corner.
John looked at his daughter, impressed by her maturity.
You're growing up fast, Em. I have no doubt you'll handle college and all its stresses just fine.
Thanks, Dad. That means a lot.
Emily said, smiling as the car continued to eat up the miles, bringing them closer to their destination and to each other. As they pulled up to the beach, both were amazed to find it almost empty. The waves rolled in a constant, soothing rhythm. John felt a weight lifted off his shoulders, the stress of daily life melting away in the salty sea breeze. Emily felt rejuvenated, like a child free to play without care.
I love it here, Dad. What should we do first?
Emily asked, her eyes glowing with happiness.
Let's start with a game of catch, then we can have lunch.
John proposed, pulling a ball from the back seat. After a fun and occasionally clumsy game of catch, they settled down to enjoy the sandwiches and snacks Emily had prepared. Their laughter filled the air, joining the chorus of seagulls and crashing waves. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, John and Emily sat on a blanket, mesmerized by the sight. John felt a sense of serenity he hadn't experienced in a long time, realizing how important it was to savor these quiet moments of connection.
I'm so glad we did this, Dad.
Emily spoke softly, her voice tinged with emotion.
Me too, Emily.
John replied, his heart swelling with love and gratitude.
We should do this more often. Life's too short not to enjoy moments like this.
The beautiful sky seemed to open a pathway for a deeper conversation, and John seized the opportunity.
So, Emily, have you given any thought to what you want to study in college?
Emily looked thoughtful.
I've been thinking about majoring in computer science, but I'm also interested in environmental studies. It's a tough choice.
John was impressed.
Both are excellent fields, and both could offer you a lot of opportunities. What's your end goal? What do you hope to achieve in life?
Wow, Dad, that's a big question.
Emily laughed softly, but then her eyes grew serious.
I want to make a difference. Whether it's developing software that helps people or working on projects to protect the environment, I want to contribute in some way.
John looked at her, his heart swelling with pride.
That's a wonderful ambition, Emily. And know that whatever path you choose, I'll always be here to support you. Whether it's reading over your college essays or listening to your plans, I want to help you achieve your goals.
Emily felt her eyes mist up with tears.
Thank you, Dad. Knowing that you're in my corner gives me the courage to chase my dreams.
John smiled.
You don't need to thank me, Emily. Being there for you is what fathers do.
They both sat there for a few more moments, watching the last rays of the sun disappear, comforted by their newfound closeness and excited for the journeys, literal and metaphorical, that lay ahead. The drive home was quieter, each lost in their own thoughts but united in the new closeness they'd found. They were already planning their next adventure, a hiking trip perhaps, as the car glided smoothly along the highway, carrying them back to their everyday lives. But for now, their hearts were full, the day's journey a bright spot of real connection in a world too often devoid of it.
Did you have a good time?
John asked, breaking the silence.
The best time ever, Dad.
Emily responded, her smile brightening the darkening car. And so they drove on, not just father and daughter but best friends, united in the simple but profound joy of spending time together. It had been a short trip, but the memories they'd made and the emotional distance they'd closed were immeasurable. And both knew that this was only the beginning. The end.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this lesson helpful.
Thank you.